How are you feeling about Christmas? It's already 2025. Do you feel overwhelmed and tired? Was your Christmas awesome? Are you setting New Year's resolutions? Well, I'm not, and I would love to talk to you about why, as well as the 6 things that I am doing the week or two after Christmas that I feel sets me on course for the year. Grab a cup of tea or coffee, your favorite beverage, and maybe a notebook and pen so you can jot down some ideas as I explain the things that I think are even more effective than resolutions. Welcome to the Peaceful Home and Happy New Year. It's 2025, which seems crazy to me, but here we are. I'm going to talk about some controversial things like not setting resolutions or ditching your Christmas traditions. Don't sign off yet. Bear with me. The number one thing that I do is I evaluate Christmas. It is so important to take note now. Don't wait until next year. There are so many things that we don't remember. I want you to jot down the good and the bad, the things that stressed you out, the things that were wonderful. I do have a Christmas notebook. I'm hoping by next year I could have it together to maybe have some printables for you and show you how I keep track of all of the stuff. But for now, it's enough just to have a little notebook to write things down in. It works really well to jot down notes in your November of 2025 or even October, so that as you're getting close to the next Christmas, you can look and say, okay, these are things I want to do differently. Do you want to change some of your traditions? Do you know that you get to do that? You don't need my permission, but I am giving you full permission to change whatever you want. Now, obviously, if you've got family members, you guys are celebrating together, there might need to be some give and take or some voting and deciding about changes. But what happens in your own home? What contributes to a peaceful home is up to you. Were there too many gifts? Was there too much food? Too much money spent? We always have to recover a little bit after the holidays, but we don't want it to be major. I had a couple of things this year that I jotted down. I didn't like the way we opened gifts. Now, we only had half of our children here, 3 out of the 6, and so it was a small Christmas, but still it ended up, I think because I was thinking it was a small Christmas, I'm like, we don't really need any guidelines. We'll just open up all the gifts. Well, after everything was said and done, I don't feel like I got to watch anyone open gifts. And that really made me sad. I don't exactly know the solution, but I know I want to figure out something different for next year. There can even be little things like I set up a hot cocoa bar for the grandkids, bought the mini marshmallows, got the hot cocoa packets. They didn't have any. So I'm like, okay, I'll save that money next year. I'm not doing it. Traditions are amazing if they are things that bring us joy and fulfillment. If they cause more stress than they bring joy, it's time to reevaluate. There is nothing so sacred that it can't be revamped or ditched altogether. There were already some things this year that I changed, and I had a little bit of fear that, it's not really going to feel like Christmas. But that's not the case. Our Christmas was wonderful, and I didn't miss any of those things. Now, if the money thing was an issue for you this year, if you have any kind of debt, I strongly encourage you, start this week. Go down to your bank. I haven't seen a bank yet that doesn't have this program. It's called a Christmas club or holiday club. And they will take the set amount that you have in your budget. It could be $20 to $200. They'll take that amount every month and move it in to your Christmas club account. And then in November, your bank will either cut you a check or automatically deposit that money into the account you choose. As soon as that money comes into my account by the end of November, I have that in a separate budget for Christmas. The money is all there, just waiting. We have been doing this for years, and we have had 0 debt and 0 regrets around Christmas. Okay, number 2 is to put away all of your gifts. And this might not be popular, but my guess is you already have a couple things that could go straight to the donate center. There's always going to be gifts that we're given with love and care, well-meaning, people that we love, we're so happy to receive from, but it's not something we can use. It's not our style. And I don't know why we think we have to store something for 1, 2, or 3 years before we can then donate it. If you already know this is something you will not use, take it back or donate it. If you absolutely have to, put it in a wait and see bin. Close it up in a bin, stick it in your garage or your basement, and wait and see if you really end up wanting this item. This is one of the best times to declutter with kids. The first time is right before Christmas. The second time is right after. As your kids are getting ready to put away all of their new toys, have them pull out things they're no longer using to donate. The other thing is if there's no space, you have a limit, you have your container, your shelf, your closet, your drawer. If it doesn't fit, something has to go. Help your kids now by learning how to let things go, to let the new things in. Make it your goal that every new thing that came in has a place where it belongs. Number 3, begin putting away your Christmas decor. Now, if you wait until sometime in January, end of January, to put it away, that's fine too. I like to get mine put away quickly, and I like to be ready for winter. So most of my decor stays up. My greens, my lights, the candles, the fur blankets, my winter pillows, all of that stays. And the things that go are the things that are strictly Christmas, like the stockings, the Christmas tree, and anything red. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I did a major declutter, over 1,000 things out of my home. And I made sure to declutter my Christmas items as I was decorating. So my rule was, if this isn't coming out, if I don't want to use it to decorate, why? If I haven't brought it out in the last 2 years, will I ever again? Can I get rid of this stuff? I decided I didn't want to keep things for someday. I wanted to just keep what I'm using every year. But now there's another layer. Christmas is over. Do I want to continue to take care of this item? Do I want to take it down and put it away and store it and get it out again? If I do, because I love it and there's a place for it, great. If not, it needs to go. It's a lot easier to declutter now because before Christmas, we're so excited to put everything out. And now is kind of all right, we're coming to a close here and I'm a little tired. What stuff do I really want to keep? You may have seen my video on decluttering your fantasy self. I'll link that below along with the whole challenge if you haven't seen it. But I think we have to declutter our fantasy Christmas. I have some toys, Christmas-related toys, that I have kept for years. And I realized that in my mind, I have this fantasy. I can picture it. I can see all of my grandkids just laying out by the Christmas tree, playing with these toys and just having a great time. But it hasn't happened. How long am I going to let this fake idea inform the decisions of the things I'm keeping? The reason we're afraid to get rid of things is what if? What if we could have that amazing playtime with the grandkids? But I would say if you got rid of that stuff, isn't it just as likely that you could still have an amazing time doing something else? Our family is really big on games, and that's where we spend a lot of time with our grandkids. Also being outside, going for walks and adventuring. I need to focus on the things that we actually do together, not the things I wish we would do. Number 4, review the previous year. Now, I actually keep a little book here. For a long time, I kept all of my calendars and planners, and that was taking up a lot of space, and I wanted to get rid of all those. But there are times when I refer back to those calendars. So what I decided to do was keep a separate notebook and evaluate each year after Christmas. I look through my planner and I jot down month by month all of the highlights. If there are really great or really bad things, I'll star those so that I can come back to them, because then we pick our best and worst. And I usually do that with my husband. We talk through the year. This is a really fun thing to do on New Year's Day because it's often a very quiet day, kind of a recovery day, so restful. And so Kevin and I have done this for years now. As we think back over the year, what have been the best things and what were the hardest things? You can also have a special category for things that are really important to you. Maybe you travel a lot, so you have a travel section. What are all the places you traveled to? For us, it's projects here on the ranch. So we think through what are all the projects that we accomplished over the last year. It can be so rewarding to look back. It's also really good to look at the hard things, to reevaluate if you've been processing in a healthy way grief and sadness, betrayal and hurt. As we evaluate those things, we can go deeper and deeper into forgiveness as well. The last thing we record are movies that we saw, TV shows that we were watching, and books that we read. I personally like to keep track of those things, and it gives me a great picture of the year overall when I look back. Number 5, I get my new planner set up. This is my new planner. This is my old one for 2024, and I write all of my birthdays in red at the top of each date. And so I get out my trusty red pen and I transfer everything over to the new planner. Now, if you're a digital planner, then those birthdays may be transferred automatically, but you just want to make sure that you've got everything where you want it. I'm using an entirely new kind of planner this year, and it always makes me a little nervous, always trying new things. And I'll tell you this, if you've tried using a paper planner and you've struggled, I would encourage you to keep trying. There are so many statistics proving the increase of success with goal setting, with planning, just by writing things down. The act of physically writing does something in our brains, and when we're checking those things on a daily or weekly basis, it really increases our chances of success. There is no perfect planner. I can tell you that. I have tried so many over the years. It's not about the planner. In fact, if you just got a spiral notebook and began to jot things down once a day, once a week, your to-do list, your thoughts, your goals, even if you don't regularly check, you're still going to be a step ahead. Just doing a brain dump of all the things that are going on in your mind, all the things that you need to do, the things you're afraid of forgetting, just writing those all down on a piece of paper is extremely therapeutic. Now, this isn't a video about how to use a planner, so maybe that's for another day. If you'd be interested in that, let me know. I do know that some of you have asked to see my binder system, and I am hoping to do that in this new year. Number 6, I plan for my fast. Now, our church has done a corporate fast for almost 9 years. My husband and I personally have been doing a January fast for probably close to 20 years. I'll tell you what I'm fasting first, and then we can talk a little more about it. This will be my 4th time of fasting sugar using this book, The 40-Day Sugar Fast. I love this book. It is an amazing devotional. You read one section every day for the 40 days, and you can do it as long as you want. You don't have to go a full 40 days, but it's just a really great way to get yourself focused on the why. Why are you fasting? And what are you hoping for in the fast? The second thing I'm fasting is spending money. I am doing a no-spend fast. And I'm going to do a whole video on that. There's a lot of things surrounding how to do that, but it basically means anything other than bills, the things that I absolutely have to pay for, I'm not buying. So this does mean no shopping, no thrifting for the whole month. And this actually couples really well with the sugar fast, because for me, a lot of when I eat sugar is going out, getting things when I'm out running errands and I get a craving and I want to pick something up. So the fact that I'm not eating sugar means I won't be spending that money. And the fact that I'm not spending money out means I won't be eating that sugar. Of course, you can fast food. You can fast certain types of food. You could fast alcohol or coffee. You could do a Daniel fast. You can look that up. Wendy Speak, who wrote the Sugar Fast book, also has a 40-day social media fast book. And I will link both of those below if you're interested. I haven't done the social media fast. If you follow me on social media, you know that I don't really have a problem with social media because I'm hardly ever on. You know, for a lot of people, social media is such a pull. Even screens, just fasting screens in general, or TV. It doesn't matter what it is, but it should be something that has a pull on your heart. Obviously, food has a natural pull because we physically get hungry. There are all kinds of things that we do in our lives that really are filling a hole. They are things that we are turning to when we're sad, when we're lonely, when we're confused, when we're stressed. We often don't even realize that we are depending on these other things for comfort. If you're not sure that you're leaning too hard on something, fast it and you'll find out. When we choose to deny ourselves of things that normally fill our cup, what we're doing is we're saying, Jesus, you're enough. You are enough for me. I don't need to shop. I don't need to be on social media. I don't need to go thrifting. I don't need to eat these foods that I love and crave. And when we put ourselves in that place of allowing Him to be enough, it does amazing things. So this is a great way to have a spiritual reset as well. So I'll end with talking about resolutions and why I don't do them. First of all, I personally have not been very successful with them. Secondly, they have been proven to not be effective. The statistics are insane. Google, do people keep their New Year's resolutions? And you will see all the statistics. There are people that don't even keep resolutions for a week. But I believe 2 weeks is the average. I haven't looked at this info for over a year, but I think it's 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, before almost everyone has abandoned their resolutions. What I do instead is I spend January reevaluating. I take notes. I think during my fast, what are the things that I would like to be different in my life? The things that I have control over. What are the things that are pulling me and drawing me away from God? And what are the things that He may be asking of me in the future? I have that whole month to evaluate, to pray, and then I like to set quarterly goals by the season. And that has been so much more effective for me. So there you have it. The reasons why I do not do New Year's resolutions, but all the things that are important to me, these 6 steps that I take care of in the month of January. I would love to hear what you're doing. Setting New Year's resolutions certainly is not a bad thing. And if you've done that, I would love to hear what is on your heart. What are your goals? If you have had any Christmas traditions that you have changed or eliminated, I think it's a very brave thing to do. If you're new here, I would love to have you subscribe. Just hit that button. It's completely free. And if this video was helpful at all, please hit the thumbs up button. Thanks for joining me today on The Peaceful Home. Blessings to you in 2025.